Hi everybody, it's your friendly female alter art, and in today's video we will be switching. Me and Alex will be switching out who is in front in this video.
Yeah, I've positively no idea what you could possibly be talking about. Nor do I.
Now just as a disclaimer, every system is going to switch differently, and every switch in every system is going to look differently.
Wouldn't that make it very difficult to diagnose?
Just because me and Alex can switch very fast does not mean every alter in our system can switch this fast. Please give us a like because I know we're going to get called fake for this.
Perish the thought! That's my advice. And, if you have to beg for a like, and I do mean beg, is that the kind of like you really want? Is it even really a like? Yes, because it only refers to an algorithm. It's impressive that everyone in your system happens to converge on what is good for that algorithm. Don't forget to like or subscribe. You don't have to like or subscribe, just don't forget to. Remember at all times that you are actively choosing not to like or subscribe. Yes, be mindful. Or don't, whatever.
Alright, here goes. Hey everyone, it's Alex from the A system.
Hey Alexa, I'm going to go ahead and press X. Is that okay?
Thank you.
You're most welcome. You most respect. You're welcome, but not the other guy. So I can't in all good conscience employ you, can I? This all seems awfully complicated. You're arguing with a puppet. No, I'm not. Well, that's always your bloody deflection. You're supposed to be helping. Yeah, and that's why I'm not. All right, I'll go ahead and get on with it, shall I? Do!
I've also seen the question floating around a lot, what is a switch?
That did spring to mind, yes.
So a switch takes place when two alters basically trade places with consciousness.
And both are consciously, lucidly aware of what's going on. Mm-hmm.
So right now, I'm fronting as Cole. If my primary protector, Landon, was to front, we would have to switch. Basically, switching who is in control of the body, who's fronting.
Yeah, that's what I suspected, and it's actually not at all difficult to understand since it's something we've all done since we were very small children. And no, I don't mean the extremely rare mental condition you're appropriating. I mean this thing we call pretending, play acting, or indeed method acting, as is what it's called when adults do it professionally. How long does it typically take for this switch to happen? About 70 seconds or more, which is longer than a TikTok video, isn't it? How awfully inappropriate.
My name is Cole. I currently am attempting to speak normally in 5x speed.
Oh, isn't that helpful? An arbitrary decision to film at 5 times speed. I wonder what's about to unexpectedly happen while you're doing that.
I'm still putting my best foot forward.
I mean, good on you for making more of an effort than the first guy there. When it starts to resemble a competition to see who can switch the fastest, it's not as convincing.
I'm trying to figure this thing out. I just got here. I heard Cole from speaking in slow motion.
Hi! Just popped into existence just now. I have no idea what just happened, given the conscious possibilities. It's like I've woken up from a sleeper hold. Oh, look, there's a camera filming me. Seems normal.
Hi, it's Judah, mostly, I think.
You think? Even your dissociated identity is itself having an identity crisis. Well, I mean, why wouldn't it? Most of us do, even at the best of times, let alone these very worst of times in which we're living. TikTok certainly isn't helping on that front. Well, the Chinese TikTok is helping the Chinese to maintain a Chinese identity, whereas this is the version we get.
Are you okay? I can't see very well, but yes. Okay. Oh. Hello.
Hi. Yeah, better, you see, that you actually would express surprise that you're being filmed. You might even ask one of the people sat next to you, why the hell am I being filmed? What just happened? And so on. But yeah, at least you didn't speed run the whole debacle for the sake of likes. I'm pretty sure that's not how it works.
I'll be walking all happily along, and then suddenly, boom, gender change.
It's as though gender dysphoria presents as a subset of dissociative identity disorder, even though gender dysphoria is not a phenomenon even peripherally familiar to the average child at the time of recording.
No. Now is not the time, Michael.
Yeah. Oh, no, I'm not Michael at the moment. I'm Napoleon. Relax, though. It's just the name of my pet schnauzer who I am now.
It is a very common neurodivergent experience to feel a disconnect from being human and from the societal expectation of the gender you were assigned at birth.
Yes, she's basically talking about personas at this point, but on a more sort of metaphysical plane, as is the theme. She's talking about identifying as a non-human animal. And just like gender dysphoria is real but rare, and dissociative identity disorder is real but very rare, there is another extremely rare condition called clinical lycanthropy delusion. It's a form of psychotic break, in fact, in which the subject, by all accounts, believes they are an animal, usually a dog, for whatever reason. What they do during the psychotic episode in question is grunt and snarl and impulsively pounce on some randomer and try to chew their face off and go on to be unresponsive to any reasoning and have no memory of the event. The event in which they became the very beast that gets rid of the pain of being a man. That's what someone does when they genuinely think they're a dog at a clinical, sort of diagnosable level. They act like a dog. What they don't do is log on to their social media account and change their profile name to Patches and insist that from now on everyone calls them a dog. See, dogs don't do that. All they do is panic and lash out in the event that they are suddenly manifested in the brain of a human. Like I said, clinical lycanthropy delusion is extremely rare, but people who have no such rare condition, but they just, for whatever reason, want to be a dog, are much more common, especially nowadays. Similarly, wanting to be a different gender from the one you are is far more common than genuine gender dysphoria. Doubly, especially nowadays. Going on to triple E if we're not long since past that. And wanting to be a different personality altogether is far more common than genuine dissociative identity disorder. So, yeah, clinical lycanthropy delusions. That's the name of the condition you're trying to ape, shall we say. Let's see if we can rush that into the pool of protected speech. I hope this development has been helpful in your political endeavours, Lulila. Maybe I'm also an animal.
Hi, I'm Faye, I'm 17 and I'm part of the Bluebell system.
Hi, I'm the turtle from the other side of time. I'm a figment of human imagination in the multiple guises of fashionable trends and other people's intellectual property.
Oh my days, right. Hi, my name's Che. I'm 26. I'm 26 now, boys. I'm the primary protector of the Bluebell system. Nice to meet you.
Good evening. I'm the frog meme from the time before frog memes were a thing. I'm unable to claim I'm part of a system, because if I do, I'll be hunted down as the leader of the alt-right. I've also just remembered you can't have green in front of green.
Hi, my name's Alaska. I'm 22 years old and I am the emotional protector of the Bluebell system. Nice to meet you.
I don't know what the hell asshole ass are talking about, but my ass don't even know what my ass is. As far as my ass can tell, I'm an ever-moving window of various excuses to be a racist asshole. Yes.
My name's Scarlett, I'm 16 and I'm a trauma holder in the Bluebell system.
I'm some kind of sheep. All I have to do is turn up and look like a sheep, and generally speaking, the joke is already apparent.
Yo, my name's Indy, I'm 19, I'm the host of the Bluebell system, and I'm really, really tired today.
Yeah, I am drunk bird also.
Oh my god, right, my name's River, I'm 27, and I'm the secondary protector of the Bluebell system. My name's River, nice to meet you.
My name is not important. I'm just an act. This is all just an act. It would be remarkably difficult to pull all of this off were it not consistently understood to be an act.
Hi, I'm Zach. I am 12 years old. I am a middle in our system.
No!
I'm mentally stable.
I'm mentally stable.
I'm mentally stable. I'm mentally stable.
I'm stably mental.
Being a male alter in a system with a non-binary host is a lot of fun, let me tell you why. 1. See this piercing? This is new. They decided to do this last night, in lieu of sleeping. And yes, they did it themselves.
And they definitely identify as they, them, do they? All of them?
2. See these nails? They did these too. Now, they look wonderful. Not my favorite. Biggest thing is, we have work in 4 hours, and I can't get them off. So my lip is in pain, my hands aren't working, and I'm just gonna have to deal with it for a while.
I'm grateful that you're here to educate me, Senpai. I was under the impression that most genuine sufferers of D.I.D, certainly diagnosable ones, are, to some degree, institutionalized. And I mean in facilities, or at least under close care. Precisely because they cannot hold down a job or even an independent domestic life, precisely because of the debilitating reasons you're half-assedly trying to illustrate here. People who spontaneously, involuntarily hypnotize themselves into believing they are 6 years old can scarcely be given the responsibilities of any line of human interaction, let alone paid occupation. It would break child labour laws, if nothing else. If it's this much of a problem for you, perhaps you should seek care options. You can do that and still find work. Even from inside some kind of fortified medical facility, you could still make TikTok videos, I presume. That would certainly explain a few things. What's distinctly suspicious is that throughout all these efforts, you never switch to a made-up personality anywhere within your cast list who has a sense of shame and embarrassment and fronts for long enough to realise what they've done and have enough shame and embarrassment to delete their TikTok account. Now here it stays on up there with a 100% approval rating across your entire ensemble of wacky characters. There are quote-unquote mentally stable people who will delete their social media on a whim. Their social media account with 5 figures going on 6. They'll just be like, I don't want this anymore. Mentally stable people with only one ostensibly fronting mind will often quite readily take that step. It happens all the time. And it's understandable. People can change their minds in all kinds of directions. And not just in the space of 4 years. And yet you don't. Nor do any of your characters. Maybe what you should ask yourself is, are you really changing your mind or just changing your presentation, your palette, your decals? It's freaky, it's kooky, it makes the day more interesting, but it doesn't actually endanger you. You don't accidentally lock yourself out of the house because you forgot you lived there. You don't sprint across a busy highway because you forgot how fast cars go. You don't start abducting teenage girls and crawling on the ceiling like in the M. Night Shyamalan movie that clearly inspired this, or anything that actually makes your own day-to-day routine any more practically difficult. But you do find yourself decorating your fingernails in a way your employer might not appreciate in the event that he didn't get Biden's memo about the nature of the Biden youth. But you could sure make your boss's brow go damp with flop sweat as he faces a possible lawsuit over wrongful dismissal of an employee due to mental illness or just genderqueer non-binary signifiers. I know I sound callous, but this is generally how a diagnosis of mental illness is determined, especially a very rare and very serious mental illness. If your delusions are so dominant that you will endanger yourself rather than even consider challenging those delusions, and if you won't even endanger your TikTok account, let alone your physical safety, that right there is a big old red flag. Or should I say a rainbow flag, masquerading as an excuse to perpetually fuck around without ever finding out. Anyone else?
So there are lots of bits of language that might be red flags referring to people as normies or as triggered. Normies is the word incels use for people outside their community. Triggered, based, cucked, describing being red-pilled or black-pilled.
How much of this is in the room with us right now, Laura?
So parents might see a combination of perhaps also racism creeping in as well. The incel community is a very racist community. This is a racist ideology. And of course, white supremacist is a deeply misogynistic ideology.
How is all of this even fitting in the room with us, Laura? All right. Way beyond my pay grade now. It's one thing to discuss children who never grew out of their I am a tree kind of stage. It's quite another thing to examine the acute psychotic narcissism of a serial child abuser. I wish I could tell you that this is also an extremely rare condition that most people are just faking, but it would depress us all quite deeply to discover just how common it is and how sincerely and unironically normalized it is. Mental conditions happen as and when social or environmental conditions allow or indeed cause them to happen. Maybe it's possible that gender dysphoria and dissociative identity disorder and even clinical lycanthropic delusions could be normalized in the future, and that this normalization might actually lead to an increase in diagnosable cases, or just the diagnosability of the cases. It depends on which window is being pushed. But that's much less of an emergency than what has already happened as a result of the mass normalization of the cluster B spectrum. But hey, let's put that aside and once again turn to our textbooks and read from the Gospel of Chapter 1. Everyone who doesn't seem to understand me is autistic. We can't seem to rid the world of that wee spectrum and its ever-growing population, no matter how much we focus all of our denormalizing rhetoric on blaming autism for absolutely every cognitive impasse anyone ever experiences. Everything is fine. There is no such thing as hatred for male brains or hatred for male-brained individuals. It's all in your head. What's really going on is anything else I can think of. Goodbye! I hate everyone. Please like and subscribe.